standing in his sunroof while driving his Cadillac down I-40.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, of course, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis and keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And welcome, we're back from the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Welcome to the Welcome to Florida show, where we talk about all kinds of crazy, fun, sometimes, more often than not, cringe stuff about the state of Florida. And on occasion, we get into stuff related to the theme parks. And in this episode, which will probably be our last EFAP of the year, still have more to go, talking about the history of Fastpass, EFAPing that amazing video that the Defunctland channel has put together. And not just me talking about it. Oh, no. We've got my co-host, Culture Casino, and special guest, Dadman Walking 55, to continue this series. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
I feel so special. Special guest. Always a pleasure to be here, Lorena, and Culture, as always. Thank you.
You betcha. I'm thrilled to be here. I always like this. I love watching this. We don't get far very fast, but it's a lot of fun.
I like it because when around you guys, I feel like I got to break out the tuxedo, the black tie affair, you know.
Oh, wow.
Well, it is a ton of fun. I was talking to Theme Park Casual earlier. I recorded an interview with him, and we said this is probably going to be the biggest running joke into the next year. How far can we get through this video? In EFAPing it in the stream, because there's so much stuff that comes out of it, like observations that Dadman makes, Culture Casino makes, I make, and more importantly, what you guys in the chat pick up and ask us, questions about and things that you remember. And it's a wonderful journey. So looking forward to doing that even more next year. We're probably going to be coming back to it once a month, because I know you guys missed the Florida Crazy. So we're not forgetting about that, because as a matter of fact, next week, of course, is going to be the last show of the year, but it's also the biggest show of the year, because that's Florida Man Bingo. And I think it's our third one, Culture, I think.
Okay. I guess I got to get working then. Okay. All right. I'll get on it. That's fine. That sounds good.
Wow.
Yeah, all those stories. And
boy.
it's going to be quite a bit. It's been about 3 weeks since we've had some Florida Man stories. So, oh my gosh.
Might want to start working now, Culture.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do my level best. I mean, there's a lot of stories. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of stories. This year was chock full of them. We haven't done Florida Man stories in a few weeks now. That puts us behind the 8 ball. I'm a worry.
Yeah. Like nuts. So it's going to be a blast. Of course, we will have giveaways, because what's a Florida Man Bingo without giveaways? So yes, we will definitely
Now these are legal. These are legal items for giveaways.
Oh boy.
Yes,
yes. We're not doing Florida Man giveaways. Okay.
No.
You will not end up in a Florida Man story with one of the giveaways.
Okay.
There you go.
So no rusted out pickup truck in Palaca. Got it.
No. You don't want to. We're not giving away
that. So
nobody's going to get a live animal. You will not get a caiman or a gator or a python or you ain't getting none of that.
You're not getting
food at the drive-through window.
You're not gonna get a delivery of Bolivian marching powder. No, you're not gonna get that. But
okay.
It will be absolutely cool stuff. Yeah. We've got tons of stories, and we may actually have a new feature to the Florida Man Bingo to make it interesting. talk about that in the back. I'll let you be surprised. So let's see. We have 18 of you folks in here so far. Let's see who we have here, because you know what? You guys in the chat are what helped make this show exactly. Well, not help. You do make this show what it is. Apollonie's minion there says hello all. Well, hello to you too. See you with that cute doggo picture. Please do stay safe, my dear. You and the truckers are what make this country go, especially
Yes.
thinking of you guys at this time of the year. So appreciate that. Oh, who's giving away giveaway ideas? Let's see. Let's go to Publix and buy some stuff.
There you go.
Are you giving away alligators?
No.
No.
No live
You
animal.
got a chat that will help you, Lorena.
Oh my gosh. You guys are, oh man, y'all are gonna get me in trouble with
What about the 10 days at Disney World?
What, you hit the lottery?
Yeah.
Human waffles.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. That was indeed funny. Whoo, man. Let's see who else we got here. Of course, let's see. Jerry Minoza is here, who says, season's greetings, Apollonie's minions. Saying season's greetings. Well, season's greetings to all of you. It's officially December, so happy early Merry Christmas to folks. Dadman Walking is saying hail from the greatest state in the union. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And we have Theme Park Casual in the chat. Good seeing you again, because I just talked to you recently. Says, hey kids, and Jerry Mendoza. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Folks, that interview with Theme Park Casual will be premiering on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to know what it's like being a theme park commando, you need to watch that video. Definitely watch that. Keely.
Hey, culture.
I think we lost Keely Chow. I mean, no, well, Keely Chow is here, so roll tide. Keely Chow, roll tide, my friend.
Okay, roll tide.
Yeah.
We almost listen. I've always joked about taking over people's streams, but gee, I thought we just about had it right there.
Yeah, we're about to get going. So,
we're ready.
My little side clicker on
there you go. Side
mouse. Yeah, I need a trackball now because I have so many monitors. It's like, oh man, keep going. Let's see. Roll Tide to Keely Chow. Let's see. We have Dylan C in the chat who says Florida time. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It sure is. Good seeing you. And good seeing you, Keck44. Thank you for being a channel member. Says howdy. Howdy to you too. I'm so looking forward to the members chat this month, the members live stream. We're going to have a little party.
Ooh.
We're going to have a little Christmas party. So it's going to be a great, fun time. Cannot wait to share that with all of you. Hello again there, Humor and Waffles. It's Hail LRC and chat. Good seeing you. And your Muslim uncle, hello, says, hail, Sister Lorena Creole from Sufi Mom and I. Well, I hope you and Sufi Mom are doing wonderful. It's always great seeing you, my dear. And Cajun Bowser, I like that name. Says, I'm wondering how you'll get through this one in 90 minutes. It's always a fun bet, right? Right? How are we running in the poll? Is everyone laughing? 58% of you. Yeah. We'll get through what we can get through. You gotta have a goal, right? Gotta have a goal.
Let's. The first time I've ever seen LOL as an option.
You know what? It just had.
I think it's a brilliant option.
It was.
I mean, I personally voted for LOL.
Makes sense.
I don't know. 10 minutes, man. That's a lot of time.
That's a lot considering how packed it is. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, we have a little running bet in a way that there's a certain twist to this EFAP series. So we're just like, if we get to it by April, we're probably doing pretty good. Hey, Ruben Christopher Haynes, good seeing you. Good seeing you there, my dear. All ready for Christmas. Good seeing my sister says, yeah, I need more Florida Man bingo. All right. I cannot wait to see you guys for Christmas. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. How many Florida Man articles did we meet so far? You mean miss like in the possible pile or the pile I know we will never have time to get through? I probably, Lord, I'll scare you guys. I have at least 50. Yeah. 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 That's how it goes.
That could be 2 full games.
Yeah. Depending on how it goes, because sometimes there's that one spot people need, and sometimes the story.
Sometimes there's one story, and you get 4 to think.
Yes.
Let me guess. 75% of the stories are south of I-4, or over towards Pinellas.
It kind of depends. Sometimes it's that way, and sometimes it happens to all be in Duval County.
Oh, wow. Hello.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. It just depends on how the Florida Man stories are and how culture sets up the bingo card.
Well, anywhere there's a Walmart.
It does it all random. All I do, so like all I have to do is figure out, okay, do we want to label all the crimes? Do you want to label all the stuff? I may actually create 2 or 3 different sessions so that we get like potentially like a different layout. So we'll see. La Boomer.
That's funny. I need that one. Battle Him 63. I recommend the Logitech M575 trackball. Thank you, because I got 3 monitors, so it's not really efficient moving the mouse around. I need a trackball. I can just and go like that. Never did I think I would ever have this kind of setup. My 12-year-old self is geeking out crazy.
You're like, there are too many screens. Too many screens.
Is it loofahing season?
Oh boy.
I didn't know there was an actual season for that.
As in me.
I guess it's whenever you get to the villages.
Canoodling.
Yes, basically. What colored? Okay, I'm not going to get into that. We're going to save it for Florida Man Bingo. So we have got 17 of you folks in here with us right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. I see you, Darth Plato. I see you there. All right. Let's see. Hey, Goof R35, I see you there. It's a Patrick Swayze Christmas.
There you go.
Wow. Y'all, we're doing EFAP. Yes, we're doing EFAP. Yes. About 59% of you are just like, no, we are not gonna get to that point. How come I'm not seeing the screen that I want to see? Hang on. I'm usually better than this.
You're learning your setup, dear. It's all right.
I'm usually better than this.
Let me say something real quickly. Everybody's talking about the time we were taking. I little sports analogy to 4 cornering, like the old 4 corners basketball offense culture.
There you
remember? Go. Like where all you did stood around the ball and just took forever. But yeah, that's good. The joke is that there's only one man ever to stop Michael Jordan. That's Dean Smith, the coach of UNC, because of the 4 corners offense. So
interesting. I love sports analogies.
Yes.
They're so much fun. Well, folks, we're still talking about the FastPass system. This is the Gen 1 FastPass system to kind of catch you all up. Yes, the legacy, the system that worked actually
very well,
perfectly equitable. Just, you had to get there to get the fast pass or fast passes, depending on how many, how many tickets, or how many, I think at this time was the passports now that you had. And when the fast passes were all out for the day, they were all gone for the day. You didn't have to pay extra for it. It was free. It was included with your admission. Disney hyped that up as the biggest selling point about it, was that you didn't have to pay extra for it. It was just there, and it was great.
Especially in the
Absolutely.
summer and when it's adverse weather, you could really take advantage of those fast passes. If you had small kids,
Mm-hmm.
it really cut things down. So
It was great, right? Because I mean, you could oftentimes go to the Fantasyland attractions,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of stack those up early in the morning. Like if you were able to roust your children early, and
Right.
you really could make it out of one of the hardest places to navigate in both California and Florida early, so that you had the rest of the time to just kind of scoot around. And if you were willing to walk a little extra in Florida, you could get that fast pass for Space Mountain and still walk all the way back over to catch Jungle Cruise. Just
Mm-hmm.
walk across the hub.
Well, and you
And,
said
and
it.
and sometimes it was worth it because you could knock out 2 other rides, go back, walk over in your window, get Space Mountain, finish that up, go get another fast pass over someplace else, maybe Splash Mountain for that afternoon. Well, it's going to be hot,
Yeah.
And then knock out Big Thunder, or knock
But
out Haunted Mansion or whatnot.
You said an important one right there, Fantasyland. Fantasyland was one to get those tickets early because
Yep.
you'd have 2.5 hour rides, and if you waited there at early in the morning, it'd be you're behind. You'd spend a lot of time, and then you'd lose out fast passes at other rides. But if you could hit Fantasyland and get those fast passes early, you could do the other stuff and come back through there, at your own pace.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And that's why, and I think Dadman Walking had already brought this up, how popular the Fast Pass system was with families. That was like the biggest perk, especially if you have little kids who would get extremely impatient, which understand it's like they're little, it's hot, everybody's bigger than you, and there's rides you want to get on, and you can't get on because you're stuck in a line. But with this, families were like, look, we can just prioritize the rides we want to get on. We don't have to wait in line for long, and boom. It was perfect. But let's roll on here.
After FastPass was introduced, both guests and Disney officials were confident in labeling the program a massive success. Eisner said, quote, "They now have more time to spend money and to do other things."
Boom.
Yeah, that's it right there.
See, they realized more revenue with the legacy system, and they thought they were going to be able to expand on that later when we get to the later part of this conversation. But this was such a happy medium for guests, especially it gave them a lot of freedom to plan their day and to like have some flexibility. It really did.
Well, no, from our standpoint, we would break more often, knowing that we still had fast passes for later in the day.
Yeah.
We knew we had an hour to kill. We'd go in a restaurant, not so much buying the trinkets and crap because we're close enough, but like the food, we'd get the drinks, get a snack, or we got an hour to kill. Well, let's just go sit here and rest. We're tired, so let's rest. We'll spend some money on food or drink, and which we did not plan on, because I'm talking like in those intermediate hours, like 2:00 or 10:00, where it's not lunch, which not dinner. I mean, exactly.
You could go to Casey's and get a hot dog. You could stop at the ice cream place, Carnation, across the way, right?
Uh-huh.
You could definitely feed those snacks, right? And that actually became even a better thing later on, when they introduced the idea of the dining plan. But we can talk about that whenever we do a dining plan version of it.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother loaded thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when this system was implemented and my family would go, we would actually go look at other attractions and experiences that we hadn't thought about looking at because we were too busy trying to get in line, waiting in line for those super huge attractions. Like we didn't think about looking at what the heck is that? Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Carousel of Progress. Sorry. Things like Carousel of Progress, things like the Swiss Family Robinson, treehouse. Even though we would go to it religiously, like actually spending time at the Tiki Room, actually trying to see some of the little side shows that they would have going on with the entertainment that was in the park, like when they had them. These streetmosphere actors like on Main Street USA, like actually stopping and interacting with the mayor and the suffragette. That wasn't something we had even thought about doing because it's like, look, we need to get in these lines to maximize, do the rides we want. We don't have time to look at other things. But it was so much more relaxing, even if you didn't have a whole lot of money to spend on other things, because we were on a real tight budget. My parents were like, look, unless you got money for it, outside of that money that I allowed you to have to buy something, no, don't even look at it. So we would look at other things, and my parents were actually more relaxed about Disney trip with the fast pass, especially as I was the one who had to run and go get it. I was a runner, so I had to go and
there you go. You were hustling.
Theme park commando training right there.
That is. Look, and I trained people, and it was very easy to explain. As Theme Park Casual says here, easy to understand. You would show somebody, you have your ticket? Let me see it. I'm going to put it in this slot. It come out. And then below, a little ticket would shoot out. There. Now you have a fast pass. Tells you when to come back between this time and this time. It'll match that clock up there.
Yeah, it's good that you had people to listen to you. I had people that wouldn't, and that was family. It was crazy, but
I even got really good at pointing for the people who didn't speak English, because in Florida, you have to remember 20% of the guests there, they don't speak English.
Right? No, it's usually Spanish, Portuguese. I mean, I got real good at listening to all the announcements in English and in Spanish. Just like you have Spanish, Portuguese, Haitian Creole, Arabic. Because I know back in the day when I would go, we always had a lot of visitors from Saudi Arabia. So there was Arabic. We didn't really hear French spoken, but that's pretty much when you're in Florida, because it's an international destination, you'll hear so many of those languages being spoken. Mm-hmm. Those are the primary ones, though. Hey, Unexpected Fire, I see you, and I see you, Mrs. Dadman. No excuse needed, especially when it comes to getting that Publix fried chicken, girl. I understand. I totally understand, and I see you. I saw you sneak in there. Had an amazing stream this morning for the let's see, your pop culture brunch. So folks, please do check out her channel and check us out on Ladies of the PGS as well on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Burn Network. So
they're also a lot happier not having to wait in line. In August of 2000, FastPass was recognized by the Florida Engineering Society and was awarded a 2000 Governor's New Product Award.
Yeah, I just want to bring that up too about the whole engineering award. That was something that was brought
also
up
a lot happier not having to wait in line.
At
in August of 2000.
At a lot of engineering colleges in the state of Florida. FastPass was something that was routinely studied.
It was a great example of industrial engineering, right? I mean,
absolutely.
And I mean, Disney had already been world renowned for crowd management because of the way that you queued, right? Queuing theory and all of that. They were at the forefront of all of that, but then they took it a whole other step with this. And boy, did they showed everybody how to get to peak efficiency using this system. And now they've shown everybody how to not do anything at peak ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's especially if, like me, when you're in engineering college, and they're holding up FastPass as this example, and you're cranking out your own simulations where I had one where I had to simulate how certain people were getting through the park, and bottlenecks, lengths of queues, stuff that I would have to program, myself. And when you have that background and you see what FastPass is now, especially when they brought in the next gen bologna sausage to quote culture casino a little later on, hair was on fire for so many.
Well, one thing that what strikes me here, and we don't have to take it as a sidetrack, but the term engineering, because when I think engineering, I'm not a science type guy. When I think of engineering, I think of architecture, buildings, planes, stuff like that, not a line. I mean, it's kind of fascinating how something like queuing people is considered engineering. I'm not quite sure how I ever understand it, but it's just fascinating there.
It is. It came out of when you talk about manufacturing and industrial engineering, when you have pieces on on an assembly line, even with how you arrange certain stations for people to put things together. Like Toyota is a great example about how their assembly line is set up for the most efficiency, to kind of cut down how far workers have to walk from one station to another. And instead of, like, say, cars going through an assembly line, you have people coming into a park and going through certain experiences and seeing, how many people you can serve at one time, what rides are backed up more than the others, the optimal, even the best places to put bathrooms. Yes, that is actually important. Where to actually place bathrooms in the park. So with industrial engineering, you're mostly around people and processes, as opposed to, say, software where you're writing code, or mechanical engineering where you're building parts.
And it's interesting because the terminology is argued all the time about where the idea of Imagineering came from. Because for Disney, Imagineering means that it means that you're incorporating 50 something, 60 something different disciplines of different types of things. I mean, it can be mechanical engineering, it can be architecture, it can be, all these other disciplines, right?
Absolutely.
They all work in conjunction together. Now, again, arguably the term may have come from Alcoa Aluminum, but it honestly is more representative of what Disney has been doing, and anybody that's in modern theme park design. Because if you look at what Universal's been doing, and much better than Disney has been lately, they're out engineering the original Imagineers. So, no, I will say this was a marvel. I'm telling you, and I know that Lorena probably has played around with this, but I've played around with queuing theory for decades now, with simulators and everything else, because I always wanted to design theme parks, and I did work on a design for a theme park, so I played around with a lot of those tools.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did. It's like we had to build these computer models, and we actually went to a Disney park and watched people and clocked how many people went in this line, how many people went here, how many people went that way. I even had to simulate how people walked in a theme park. I used like an escalator model, and my professor asked why. I said, people don't walk in straight lines in parks.
Nope. Not
They
unless you
don't.
And that's one of the reasons why speed ramps and other things Disney implemented were put there for a reason, because it was control. It is crowd control to the nth degree. And escalators, speed ramps, which are just the conveyor belts for people, all that stuff, that's there for a reason. Manage people flow, and they do it. They used to do it better than anybody else. Now
it's nah.
Fastpass
like
was
not
recognized
so
by the
much.
Florida Engineering Society and was awarded a 2000 Governor's New Product Award. Laval said, quote, FastPass continues to exceed our expectations. It's a free service, and it's making their time in the parks more fun and productive.
And that's the thing, free, additional value. Saying that it's free, even though it's free, but you're paying for it, but at the same time, it's not something extra. So when you're quoted a price for a ticket, you're like, okay, and that's included too. All right, I'm good with that. And that's what's missing, and that's why this was so popular. Like, we get one ticket, we just pay one price for fun. We get this extra benefit. It's amazing, and the marketing was just genius with this.
It was the free value added thing.
Yes,
value added used to be a big thing with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be,
right?
Yeah. Keyword.
Laval retired in 2000 after 30 years with the company, with FastPass being
And that's his
last major
window
project.
on Main Street. So if you're ever, and I think I showed this in a live stream once, if you go down Main Street, USA, whether in Disneyland or in Disney World specifically, I'll talk about Disney World here, certain Imagineers will have a window dedicated to them on Main Street. So when you're walking down Main Street, make sure you look up and you can see those particular windows. They're themed extremely, extremely well.
Yep. And look for Marty's window.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Some good ones in there.
Perhaps the greatest success of FastPass was the name. It was catchy and concise, so much so that it immediately became a household name and a colloquialism for any sort of expedited line. It also pushed other parks to develop their own expedited queue systems, and it even inspired a hit song.
If you like it, then you should have got a fast pass. If you like it, then you should have got a fast pass.
I don't remember this.
You know, I tried to do that once, and this is what let me do it.
I
The
don't
kids
remember
stopped
that.
me, but to their point, it annoyed the Universal workers when you'd go over there and hey, I want a fast pass, because that term became known everywhere, and I know it drove the Universal people crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like if it's a brand name that becomes synonymous with a thing, it's like Kleenex instead of facial tissue, right? And Disney had done this more than once because just everybody knows what a freaking e-ticket ride is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was even used in competitors' films, non-Disney films, the e-ticket attraction.
I'll tell you the term cast member. Our kid was young and went over to Universal, called one a cast member, and they nearly flipped out because it was like, no, that's Disney. That's not us. You know, it's like, but yeah, like you said, they're not trademark terms, but they were so almost universally accepted. People applied the same term everywhere they went.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing that they had that kind of power.
Absolutely. Mrs. Dadman says, even though you paid with raised ticket prices, you didn't really realize it. Psychologically, you were happy getting it free. And that's the perceived value part that culture was talking about. And just to put it in contrast with the Universal Express, that was paid and rationed. So when you walk in the park, the first thing that they'll tell you is like, okay, well, if you want to skip the lines, maximize your time here, you probably want to pay for this express pass. But if you were Disney, we're just like, well, that's free. How come, yours is
and to be fair,
mm-hmm.
You were able to get that maximized express pass if you stayed in one of their hotel locations.
That's true.
And Disney then was like, well, if you're staying in one of our hotel locations, you get free parking, you get to use the express monorail, you get to use the monorail system, and you get to use the bus system, you get to they would go through all the things you were getting.
Mm-hmm.
But FastPass was just part of the ticket price.
Yeah.
That was a completely different thing.
Clarification though, at Universal, it was the deluxe resorts, the Royal Pacific, Polynesian, Hard Rock. That applied to the three larger hotels.
That's true. The deluxe,
but
the
still
deluxe
was a
hotels.
great value.
Oh, it's a huge value.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember I did it once. I actually paid for it because I was like, okay, I can pay this. I can get to the front of the line each ride at least once. Had small kids with me. I said, okay, I don't like paying for it, but once I did, I was like, okay, this is great and get it done, and done and over with. But that was like an additional fee, something that I didn't expect to have to pay. And with Disney, again, the perceived value is you get this free fast pass, which guess what? To me, that seems Disney has more perceived value than Universal does. But not anymore right now, let me tell you. It's totally different. Hey, Common Nerd, good to see you. This is Hail Chat, Hail Lorena Creole,
It should be mentioned. I know that you probably already have, but towards the beginning of the year, park passes are going to go away finally. Did you not know that?
Which one? The park
passes. You know where you have to reserve park reservations?
Oh,
that's going away.
Oh wow.
No official date has been announced, but it's it's rumored to be January 9th.
They might as well, considering how much of a sea of humanity Disney World has become, starting with that first week of Thanksgiving. Being in the Magic Kingdom, I said there's no difference between now and when it used to be pre-pandemic.
Well, it's been a few years since I've been to Disney, especially since the reservation system.
Right.
But the thing that gets me, and I think you may have shown it, the recent pictures at the Ticket and Transportation Center with the people queued around. Every time we went, there was like ghost town at Ticket Transportation Center. This is not even a holidays. How can, with a reservation center, they have crowds like that? I'm just kind of.
Was that when I showed you guys in TD? Yeah, I'm gonna go see your member chat because I can't see it in StreamYard.
Oh, I got it.
So
I'll bring
it for me. Thank you. Yeah, to Dadman's point, remember, I think I posted a picture in Twitter because I went to Transportation and Ticket Center and it was so bad. They had roped off that whole area that's open where you walk to get to the monorail. They had people going through these ropes and cast members saying, you know what, you probably just want to take the bus to the Magic Kingdom. I said, when did they start busing people to the Magic Kingdom from the Transportation and Ticket Center?
They've had those lanes set up and ready to go for any time they had like the ferry was down plus the monorail. They needed to get people to places. They always had that backup plan.
Wow.
But
I had never seen it until then. Never.
No,
I mean, it was one thing if it was like the ferry is down and that whole area that's open before you get to the monorails. I could see that, but this was, God, it was crazy.
It happens, and that's one of the reasons why they have some empty bus stops on that fourth spur there.
I always wondered about those bus stops, but I really, they have not been running trams for a long time from the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't
even
even
park way out there and walk to the Ticket and Transportation Center.
They started running trams again. I don't remember exactly when, but
they started a couple of months ago, and I want to say a month ago I had a tram all to myself.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, but no. So let me clarify. Under the system that they employed after the global crisis, I'm going to say that. They created something called the park reservation system, the park pass system, which meant you had to make a reservation for the park you were going to go in. And for a while, it completely defeated the idea of park hopping. They're taking that away. Magic Key. That's not what I'm talking about. TPC. I'm talking about you had to make park reservations at Disney World, like you were going to spend the bulk of your day in Magic Kingdom until 2:00, which is when they started to allow people to actually park hop. This is what got them into a lot of trouble, and they're now in a class action lawsuit for which I'm a party to. That they took away the ability of people to park hop, which is part of the pass that you bought, and they created blackout days, essentially making it impossible for you to park reservations as a specific park, despite the fact that there are no blackout days for pass holders. So they got into big trouble. They also did at Disneyland too, the Disneyland Resort as well, but not nearly to the extent that they got in trouble for Florida. So we'll have to see how that all goes down. Anyway, I didn't mean to take us.
Yeah,
because
yeah, no. I'm glad you clarified that because
I put the private messages.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, member chat message from TD. Thank you. Another one of my amazing mods. Been a member for 2 months at the Suave Society level, says, hey, Lorena, hey, chat, how's your SUV doing? Well, it is doing much better. It only needed a new battery. It was something that I knew I was going to need because it's so hot down here. It saps the battery, and had planned to go Saturday, and Friday night went to try to start engine and nothing. So I finally have it back. Thank you for asking. Brand new, powerful battery. The only drawback is now all of my presets are gone. And I have to reset the
That's a bummer.
reset the clock again. But it could have been worse. It could have been my alternator. So I do not. I'm glad it's something as simple as the battery, which was at 0. No joke, it was deader than Elvis. There was no coming back from it, I tell you. Hello, Nathan Rita. Good to see you. Good to see you there. All right. And Mike Loves Tacos. Hello. Another channel member says, to all who come to this happy place, where are your papers? And where's your reservation, right?
Yeah.
I'll be so glad when they get rid of it because, I mean, Universal, I can just go over there. I do not like this reservation.
It's the freedom. It's the freedom. I mean, what made Disney great was I could hit 4 parks in one day as I wanted to, but without this, and when the Universal reopened it, I don't know if they ever had it like Disney, but it was like Disney's that whole thing, but I could still bounce between Universal parks.
And Universal only had capacity limits, and it was
Right.
it was 2 phases. They would limit how many people could come into the park, and then they'd be like, "Okay, we're full. We're not letting in any more people unless you were a Universal Resort guest." So, regardless of what level resort you were staying at, and I think I showed a picture of this. All I had to do was show my hotel key, and there was a special entrance where if you were a hotel guest, they would let you in. So that was kind of how they managed capacity. It was more equitable. It's basically, can you get here or not? And if you didn't get there in time, guess what? You didn't go in. Unless, like I said, unless you were a Universal hotel guest. And it worked much better. People were much happier than, okay, you got to make a reservation to get into the park. It's ridiculous, and it's such a
people go to work. People go on vacation to relax and unwind. They don't go to vacation to work, you know.
But see, Disney is now notorious for making a complicated circumstance 3 times more complicated.
Right.
And then they added that additional layer of complication on top of it, and they took away all of the value, like the Magical Express transportation. We can go on with
this. We totally could.
The spider webs. This is the amazing spider attraction.
Yes, the best Spider-Man attraction. I love it.
It's awesome.
It's amazing, and one of the best takeaways from this ride is you hear Stan Lee's voice at the end. It's so cool. It's so cool. It was It's awesome. I love going through there and
systems, and it even inspired a hit song.
This is so cringe, but funny at the same time.
You just need somebody to put your face, cultures, and mine on this guy's head.
How old was that? Because you can still see the hat.
It was not long until
MGM.
touring experts started to learn the best practices for FastPass system.
Now, this is a commando thing. We started figuring out, the system because it was easy to understand. So it was very easy to figure out how to use it to your advantage. Because the first bullet, that was my favorite one. If it's less than a 30-minute wait, don't bother getting a fast pass unless, it's something you maybe want to come back to later. Just to say
like
you can do
write
it.
it twice,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I did that with Pirates of the Caribbean. I rode that, I think, like twice within like an hour. It was awesome.
Ugh.
Let's see. No, it wasn't haunting. It was actually really cool because of how it played into
It's wonderful.
the actual attraction. It
Yeah.
fits perfectly.
And it was there,
Perfect.
especially in the queue,
halfway
right?
too.
When you're walking through the queue, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, there, dead man.
Oh, no problem. They even had one time I got no, never. Go ahead. We got to move on.
For instance, guests still needed to arrive earlier in the day to receive fast passes with optimal return times.
Right.
If a guest arrived at the park's opening, they could receive a fast pass with the return window only an hour away. However, by midday, many fast pass return times would be 4 to 5 hours in the future.
Yeah. Again, this is a very equitable system. You get there early, you get first pick. You get there late, you kind of beggars can't be choosers. You're pretty much stuck with, return time that may not be the best one for you, but couldn't really argue about it. It was free, but again, more equitable this way.
And in TPC, we're at least a minute into the video now. Come on.
Oh yeah, we are.
You saw that one. I was looking at that myself.
Oh god, this is the best joke. I freaking love it. The Fast Pass song is at least less cringe than a McDonald's McNugget rap. I think I wiped that from my memory.
Wasn't that Fast Pass song like based on like all the single ladies? All the single
yes.
ladies? Yeah. Okay,
yes.
Well,
Yeah, they did, which is what made it even funnier.
And on busier days,
like you should put a fast pass on it or something.
Out by 1 or 2 o'clock.
Oh, I cursed. I'm sorry.
While the system itself worked well, there were a few issues. One was the decision to not allow guests to receive another fast pass until the return window arrived.
That was a small point of contention when it's just like, what do you mean I can't go in, get my fast pass for this ride right away? How come I had to wait until my window was up before I could get another one?
Well, one of the, like in the type of cases, like if you like Toy Story Mania or Space Mountain, one of those type of high demand rides, say around 12, if there's still any available, you might, the return time's not till 8 o'clock at night. Normally, if it's a normal ride, it only may be a couple hours, so you do it and get another ride. But then you would have to wait till 8 o'clock at night to get another, and by that point, they're all gone. It's your last fast pass of the day. That, I think, is what that was addressing is, and I think over time, they started allowing an exception. Like some of those late ones, they kind of had like a 2-hour cap. Like, okay, if you had one at like 6 hours under, they might let you have another one in about 2 hours or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. But it'll be such a fun ride, though.
Early. And I'm still here hanging out with these great people.
Yeah, we're having a great
until the
great
return
time.
window arrived. This left many guests upset when they went to get a fast pass for an attraction, only to realize that the return window.
Yeah, that's Stacy.
I know. I remember that so vividly. God, all those promotions.
They got rid of her. What? They got rid of her right before the global crisis.
Dude, she was great.
I know.
She was. Oh my God, my nieces and nephews. Anytime we would check in, as soon as we checked in,
they turned the TV.
They turn the TV on so they can watch Stacy.
Stacy, yeah, the Disney must do's.
Yes, the must do's.
That's right. Yeah, she 20 some years of her. And she acted like a 20-year-old bouncy person for 20 years.
Yep.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I love Stacy. Go back and find that video.
Are you laughing at me?
Or trips and
all
reuse
of
them
us.
over and over again. To combat this, Disney changed the design of FastPass tickets to more clearly show the date, although this did not entirely curb the practice. Others found ways to best the system to get as many fast passes as possible. Guests found that some attractions did not communicate with the rest of the park's computers. So
Interesting. Now, I didn't know that. I just knew one year the fast passes looked one way, and then the next year they didn't quite look the same. But I guess when they're talking about certain, not all, I guess not all computers talking
Yeah,
in
there
one
there
central
some
location.
things. Okay. So what was something we talked about when we saw the giant basement of mainframes?
That was ancient.
Yeah, remember? That was like a week ago, right? Or 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
when we saw that, what we were seeing was the problems that they've always had with Disney is cobbling all these legacy systems together. There were attractions that just didn't talk to each other. Disneyland, especially, right? Where like you could get a fast pass over here, but you could still get one over there because this attraction didn't talk to anything, right?
Mhm.
It was just like it was just doling them out. And this is the other cool thing. Sometimes you didn't need a park ticket. You know what you needed?
Ooh,
A
but
library card or a bank card or whatever. All
no.
you need was something with a magnetic stripe that you could put in there, and it would kick out. You got a ticket. Not kidding.
Well, thank you, Bob Chapek, for
Hey,
dropping
Bob.
me some of that severance money for
that's funny.
$10.
I hope you're doing
Wow.
well, buddy. I mean,
Well, if anybody
look,
had enough severance, it would have been
if
him.
somebody handed me $60 million, I don't know that I'd be looking for handouts. But thanks for the $10, buddy. We appreciate it.
I sure do appreciate
Yeah.
that. That'll go towards the upgraded StreamYard. Says will work for food. Anything else? Well, thank you so much for sharing some of that cash with me, Bob Chapek. I sure do appreciate it, guys. I mean, your super chats help keep the channel running, upgrading stuff, all kinds of good stuff. And my computer is a lot newer than the one we showed 2 weeks ago in the basement at the Magic Kingdom. So thank you so very much for that super chat, my dear. Thank you.
Well
Sure
done.
do appreciate that.
And yes, of course, I gamed the system. I was a master of taking care of this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're always finding stuff to do. Now I missed it because again my trips were very sporadic, like year or every other year. So I didn't figure that part out, but you
Hey,
daggone right. Eventually I would have.
Culture, I got your back on that one. I gamed the hell out of the system because, especially being 2.5 hours away, it was nothing to run down for the weekend, even if we stayed up. Yeah, it was your advantage. I mean, yeah, it's legalized gaming the system because you get, like you said, Lorraine earlier, you get there early, do whatever, and that's what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's not the guest's fault if you put everything out there and they're finding the loopholes in the system that are still legal. I mean, they find out a way to game the system. It's not their fault.
I am telling you, I was taking family members' library cards, anything with a magnetic strip. And I was just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yep. And the cool thing about that is that it wasn't a ticket. So it didn't count.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of really cool things you could do way back when. I'm just saying. There were days when you could have brought in an expired ticket or a ticket into the park or a ticket that didn't have any days left on it or anything. Because the turnstiles weren't working, which meant that the fast pass things weren't working, which meant that you could have given them a dead ticket or a dead pass, and as long as it's scanned, people were going in.
Yep.
Serious. I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah.
So if they were to get a fast pass from one of these rogue attractions, they would not communicate that the guest already held a fast pass, and they could therefore obtain another. Fast pass kiosks were also used in creative ways. For instance, guests obtaining a fast pass for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It might have received a special ticket inviting them to sit in one of the special contestant seats at the attraction.
Oh, now that I didn't know.
Yeah. Wow. They hid those seats very well because I didn't know there were selected, contestant seats.
Yeah, I don't even think I even did the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing. So that's very interesting.
Well, in the summer in Florida, you do anything to sit in air condition for extended times.
This is true.
I would specifically sit in the seat that would get the person next to me to have to talk to Crush the turtle.
Oh yes.
Ah.
Or I would sit in the specific place if I wanted to embarrass somebody, or make somebody's day on the Star Speeders for Star Tours, so that I would make sure that they got highlighted as the spy. So,
well,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, like Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor had certain little spaces that they rotated. Awesome time. The last time we ever got to that, I always want to be the guy that wanted to get up and dance. Dude, I broke it out. I did Spigot, Monkey. I did it all kind of. I went crazy. The family like hid under the benches. It was so bad, but I did so good. I got an encore. They went back to me a second time, which I'd never seen before. So what they did is, as my oldest daughter was sliding away from me, the camera followed her like, "You must be proud."
You know what? Do you want to know the secret to whenever they pick some lady out and was like, I want you to read, I'm going to read your mind?
Oh, yes.
We figured that out because on 2 separate occasions, they picked myself out and my sister out. Why? If you have the biggest hairstyle, they will pick you.
There you go.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. I guess it's because you get the reception, because they'll tell you to put your fingers up here like this and do like this. And I'm just like, oh, shoot. It's somebody with the biggest hair.
That's awesome.
It was the funniest thing. It was so freaking subtle, but I'm just like, what are the odds of families together? They're at the park, they ride, they go through the attraction twice. Someone from the same family is picked each time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's some stuff I'll tell you backstage about.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, you mean the house arrest bracelet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I used to call it. I still call it.
Sometimes the kiosks were used to direct people to other attractions by giving them a bonus fast pass, such as the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which sometimes dispense bonus fast passes for Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Now, this is true. I did have this happen on several occasions. And this was a nice bonus to, to have, even if it was an attraction and you didn't give a crap about.
Mm-hmm. It's a psychological thing of getting something for free. Even, free, it's added bonus. It's, you do, even though that stadium, that theater is like never full, you got in ahead of other people usually. So, but the psychological really plays a lot, especially when it's hot in Florida or you're wet and rainy with the monsoons that happen.
Well, and it's funny because they used a lot of the legacy machine locations that had already dispensed their passes for the day for other features that they later went to charge for. For example, in California, you could actually go and get a fast pass for World of Color at the River Rapids location, or maybe, the Radiator Springs location. It would dole out fast passes for a nice viewing location later for World of Color or whatever. Then they started charging for those spots. See, it's the problem with Disney, right? Is they take something good and then they charge you for it.
Yeah. And not just a little bit of money either. That's a whole other video.
On February 17th, 2003, the 100 millionth Fast Pass was distributed to the Dillon family of Atlanta, who were given a special golden Fast Pass that allowed them Fast Pass access to all attractions at the resort. Mike Dillon said, quote,
nice.
Things like this don't happen to the Dillons.
Hey, we completed part 3. We completed part 3.
Yes. And we are 2 minutes and 39 seconds farther than we were when we started.
Yes.
And we're only an hour in.
Yes.
We are doing great. We are doing great. Oh, this is just a lovely segue that you find a lot in Defunctland's videos.
Marge, which would soon navigate the tumultuous waters of the Atlantic Ocean. bound for the, well, I think I lost my thread here. Sorry about that. Where was I? By 2003,
Yeah, Fastpass. There we
Fastpass had
go.
grown significantly to 26 attractions at Walt Disney World, 5 at Animal Kingdom, 6 at Disney MGM, 5 at Epcot, and 10 at Magic Kingdom. Disneyland Resort now had a total of 16 Fastpass attractions, 9 at Disneyland, 7 at California Adventure. The significant increase in Fastpass attractions was due less to logistics and more to the monetary benefits of the system. During the late
Yeah.
Oh wow!
really-
They're promoting Paul Pressler, who deserved no promotion ever in his life. Oh. We did get another member chat from Keely Chow.
Let's
Just came in.
see.
It's in
Oh,
that
thank
private
you,
area
my
there.
dear. You know what, StreamYards, you need to let me start seeing these. Thank you,
Step
Culture,
it
for
up.
putting that in the back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Member for 3 months at the Swap Society level. Thank you so very much. Says, you're going to be all right, Bob.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
$60 million. You're good.
Yeah. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. On track to complete this by the end of Bob Iger's second term as president.
Dude is not going to be president.
Wow.
I was thinking we're making progress there till that.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good.
That's
But
a whole
yeah,
other lifetime from now.
it's just it's like it was working great, and then it's how can we extract more money
Mhm.
out of this system, and this is where the wheels start to wobble on
late
the bus,
90s
so
and
to
early
speak.
2000s, Paul Pressler, the chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, had instituted drastic cost-cutting measures, slashing budgets across the board to increase profits. At the same time, Pressler, whose background was in retail, dramatically increased the amount of shopping and merchandise carts throughout the parks. Fastpass was a quick fix in many ways. Not only did the system promise to get guests out of line and into gift shops, but Fastpass itself could be marketed far and wide as if it were a new attraction, during a time when Disney didn't have anything else to promote.
Now, I remember a
Those
ton of
signs
advertisements
were
for Fastpass.
everywhere.
Yes.
They were hanging in food queue locations and quick service. They were hanging in shops over checkout positions. They were everywhere.
They printed them on your receipts sometimes when you bought stuff. It was
on the map you got. By the way, why are you trying to get rid of the maps, Disney? The maps are a souvenir. It is a I was here moment that a lot of guests don't realize until they get home. They're like, oh wow, I'm going to save this. And then you can go back in time and say, look at how much the park changed since the first time I went, since the second time I went, since the third time I went. You know, you're taking away people's souvenirs. Yeah, jerk faces.
Yeah, I remember when was it the resorts, or some of them, I think they had their own napkins printed. That was like the cheapest souvenir.
Well,
I'd get those and put them in my scrapbooks.
The minute they went to the Disney parks thing,
I freaking hated that.
You got rid of all of that, right?
Well,
so there is no more uniqueness to locations, no more uniqueness to anything anywhere in their parks or their resorts.
Exactly. I think specifically those drinking cups where you pay for the entire stay. We had those years ago from the Contemporary. They were stamped Contemporary and all that. Then years later, over at Pop Century, they're all generic Disney stuff and not Pop Century. Well, I think we still have some of the specific ones if we have them away. But
but I mean, it was even crazy, right? You would go, Dadman. You would go to Tomorrowland. You would get a Tomorrowland cup.
Yeah.
You would go to Adventureland. You would get an Adventureland cup.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, they took it from very precision, spotlight locations to just one size fits all Disney, Disney general mob cup thing.
Well, it saves money, Dad, man.
Yes,
It saves them.
Well, guess what? Culture about your maps.
$40,000 a month.
hey, culture about your maps, unless that comes with a little fee, we don't need maps. You know, it's that's what's sad about it. It's all those little things that add up to make, free little teeny things do add up in a guest view to make it a better experience.
Well, and it's like, can you stop trying to extract every fractional cent from me, please? I mean, please. This is the problem now. You have an entire populace who grew up with your shit, right? It's 40 something years worth of quality that you gave us for me in my lifetime. Let's say 46, 45 years of high quality physical entertainment in your theme parks. I have an entire lifetime of souvenirs I can go back to, maps, the whole 9 yards. You cut that off. You destroyed that. Those experiences, those things, you took them away. Now, I can still go back and enjoy all my stuff. I have unbelievable amounts of stuff.
But
from my lifetime of things?
Can I submit one thing for consideration, though?
Yeah.
Okay, because you and me, we're from the same generation.
Yeah.
Lorena, we know, is so much younger than us. So
she's like, she's in her
like
20s. She doesn't know anything.
Yeah, 29 holding.
But I watch people younger, like mid-20s, they're on their phones talking, oh, get the Uber, get that. I mean, and they're doing all this stuff digitally and stuff, just not even thinking of what the costs are about things. And I think that maybe that's part of the strategy is that they're banking on a whole new generation that may actually outnumber us of people that don't think about those little things like we do, because people are so easy. Oh, I'll pay for it. I can do it. When you have cash and you have to watch that cash coming out of your pocket to see what you can do, it limits to what you do. But with it so much electronic now, especially the younger people, maybe they're banking on the fact that people are so willing to just pay for anything, not even think about it. And that's, why they're going to that strategy.
Well, and maybe that you might be right, but here's the biggest problem with all of that.
Okay.
Half a generation from now, they've cut their audience by 3/5. Because not only is the population dwindling because none of these monkeys that they're, catering to, they're not going to have kids. They're not going to have, they're not going to be doing anything in any way to support this brand after, they outgrow it. Right. And they will, because the nostalgia factor is being removed, extracted dollar by dollar.
There's no question,
because they've turned what they have into a fad.
Oh, when you're so right about that, Deb, and not to cut you off, but I'll bring up the whole Instagram culture. It used to be when you went to the parks, the big thing was you getting pictures at the attractions or with the characters to basically keep a record of your visit. Now it's like, here's the wall for Instagram that you can take a picture with. Here's the TikTok that you have for what's going on. Everything is so into the phone. Even when you see the fireworks, okay, granted, there was always that dad who had the video camera, to kind of do that. Now it seems everyone has their phones out to record everything. And people are just totally missing the immersion and the experience. But then again, Disney has made the experience so expensive. People are just like, unless I get it on my phone, I'm never going to get to see it, again. And but your dad, man, you're right. It's like, it used to be, acquiring memorabilia. Now it's pick up the memorabilia, take a picture of yourself with it and upload it. And that's the extent of it.
Well, and I wanted to address culture's point in one regard, because culture, you're thinking like old school. You're thinking like Walt Disney, somebody that's thinking long-term in 50 years. But what is the attitude in corporate America these days? Most time it's satisfy the stockholders' immediate profits and stuff. You're thinking, and your point is coming from a point of somebody looking long range. The CEOs nowadays, and it's not necessarily specific to this company, it could be all companies, they may not care how much their audience is or how many customers they have 50 years from now. They care to maximize their profits now, to do what's needed to either boost their books for their own pay. and for stockholder returns and stuff. That's the only thing I would suggest with that.
Yeah, that I totally get his point. Hey, Mark D with the
Yep.
C. Yeah, it's with the way things are now, it's even like say, yeah, I was too young at that point. But even like say 20 years ago, Disney was a much different company, than they are now. And we would joke about, yeah, they're nickel and diming you, but it was kind of tongue in cheek because you were getting that perceived value. It's like now they just seem to be nickeling and diming you just to, because they can do that, and they're not really into the long term guest, like the guest that returns year after year. Oh, no, I get you, Jeremy Noza. No problem. No problem. I could actually do a whole nother stream on that. But remember when Disney catered to families, you would see commercials for families. You would even see commercials with grandparents bringing their grandchildren to the parks. I remember one commercial that I saw that I loved. You saw like this little girl holding hands with another little girl skipping through the parks, and they're having a great time. And she's like, "Look at what's in this window, Mom." And they look in the window, and it turns out the little girl is holding her mother's hand.
And they did that with grandmas too. Those commercials were incredible. I love them.
They were so great. And it was just like, that was the whole thing, the Disney difference in that experience. And it made people want to save for it. It made people want to go repeatedly because they're like, we went and we had this amazing, amazing experience. And it was generational. They would market, I want to say that one, oh God, this is aging stuff, that one DVD. It's a classic. I think I still have it somewhere that if you sent away for it, Disney would send it to you. And that had the vacation planning one with all the different generations. And they had the whole thing about the Disney family reunion. And they were talking about attractions that you could bring the whole family on. And that's when they marketed to families. Now, when you see Disney commercials, you mostly see double income, no kids. Or no kids, or it's just strictly an adult thing. Not here's something for the adults, here's something for the kids, here's something for teens, here's something for the whole family. That's no longer there. And it seems like their whole aim is just people with these exorbitant amount of incomes. And if you're bringing, your kids, it's just like there's no value to it the way that it used to be.
Because if that's your attitude, then and what we touched on earlier about how newer people with the disposable income just paying stuff without thinking. Think of this, like my wife, her mom took 5 kids by herself to Disney. When you're in that situation, you ain't got money to just throw down like that.
No,
you barely get in the door nowadays.
No, it's like it's not, for a lot of people, it's not cheap, but it was that thing that people were willing to save for because they figured that they could get that perceived value. And that's, that's how things were. Like I said, for me, it took me going in 2018, having the worst trip, and I stayed in the Grand Floridian, the worst Disney trip that I'd ever had. And I hadn't been there for a couple of years. And I'm like, what the heck happened? We'll give folks like another, let's see, can we get through like another 10 seconds?
For a period of time in the mid-2000s, FastPass was used as a perk for vacation packages.
Yes, I remember this.
AAA, which allowed guests access to what was referred to as Enhanced FastPass, which removed the 2-hour limit on guest tickets, allowing them to obtain as many FastPasses as available, with the only restriction being that they could not receive multiple passes for the same attraction until the first pass for that attraction had expired. With this, guests could enter Disneyland Park in the morning, obtain a fast pass for every fast pass attraction in the park,
Disney World
exit
didn't
Disneyland
have
Park,
this.
walk over to California Adventure, obtain a fast pass for every fast pass attraction at that park, and now, holding 16 fast passes, have the best day ever, with the only downside being that they now have to experience 7 attractions at a mid-2000s California Adventure.
Oh, that's a deep cut, bro.
Help me understand that. Help me understand that as a Floridian that's never been to California.
Dad, man, as somebody who's been to both parks, let me tell you. Okay, so when California Adventure opened, It was basically nobody wanted to go there. Imagine if when you walked right outside of Magic Kingdom
Right.
and like say went across the Seven Seas Lagoon, there's Epcot. That's how close
Oh, they're right there.
Disneyland and California Adventure are to each other. And
Now,
Gosh.
yeah, folks weren't really trying to go to California Adventure.
and I will share with you why. I'm going to use bad words here.
Wow.
When California Adventure first opened, it was dog shit.
Yeah.
Here, folks,
True.
we have it now.
And
I
I don't
went-
curse, but it
Now,
was
California Adventure, the one with the big Mickey Mouse face on the Ferris wheel.
on the
thing?
wheel. Yeah, the Mickey's Wonder
Yeah, the
Wheel.
Sun Wheel.
That's
Yeah.
supposed to be happy. Why? How does that not make everybody happy?
Yeah, it went from the Wonder Wheel to the Sun Wheel to the Pixar like thing of doom. I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah.
the attractions were all off the shelf for the most part. The only thing that wasn't was soaring over California, right?
Mhm.
And well, obviously the water river raft ride, which is
I
kind of a
didn't do that
knockoff
one.
of the Kali River Rapids, to be honest with you, outside of the mountain design.
Ooh.
And let's see what else was unique there. Well,
They had,
they had stuff to be a
didn't
bug.
They had
They had a
didn't they
Tower
have
of
a-
Terror.
didn't they have a Monsters Inc?
Yeah, they did have the
Right,
Monsters Inc. Yeah,
Okay.
which was.
Okay.
But before that, it was Superstar Limo, which was dog poo.
What the
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. They
I
had a lot of
heard about
attractions that
dog
had
poo.
come from elsewhere. Let's just say that.
Uh-huh.
But all of the carnival area attractions were dog poo. So you had
Yeah.
California Screamin', good roller coaster. You had this River Rapids ride, which is called Grizzly River Rapids. You had Soaring Over California, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, the Sun Wheel thingy.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
Any of those mega wheels are garbage. But anyway, that was kind of it. Like they didn't have like World of Color wasn't there yet. Radiator Springs
Mm-mm.
wasn't there yet. I
Mm-mm.
don't think the Tower of Terror had been built yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But it was garbage. Hot garbage.
It was so bad. The Simpsons put a joke about it.
Yeah.
In one of their
Wow.
episodes. They said, "We're gonna go where no one will ever find us." Disney's California Adventure.
They were right. Well, speaking of which, so I went to go grab my videotape, my planning videotape for Disney
Uh-huh.
World.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it, but you know what I did find?
What'd you find? What'd you find? Hold on. Let me blow you up.
Oh wow.
No way! Oh, I'm
1996.
so jealous.
1996.
Wow.
Wow.
This was the year that the electrical parade was supposed to glow away forever.
Oh man.
It's made 3 comebacks.
Yeah.
I missed that
the year we got
parade.
married. I remember that. It was
Oh,
supposed to be gone.
1972 to 1996. I still have a keychain. I have a t-shirt.
I missed that parade so much. I think the last time I saw it was actually in Disneyland
Mm.
when I saw it. And it's still the best nighttime parade ever. I think the only one better than that is the one that's in Japan. But that's like next level with their electrical parade. Yeah, eventually I have to go over to Japan because I want to go to Tokyo Disneyland so darn bad. Someone mentioned about Nintendo World. Yes, actually that's opening in Hollywood next year. If I was a betting person, I'd say right around or a little bit before when the Super Mario Brothers movie releases. And it is not coming to Florida until 2025, rumored to be. But I've seen a lot of track being laid over at Nintendo Land. If you follow BioReconstruct on Twitter, he does a
Yes.
lot of flyovers, and you can
Yeah.
see exactly what's going on.
Well, and there's more, and not only that, there is more stuff happening there than you can visibly see for everything there. So I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, I have the
I'm
souvenir
so
bulb too,
excited.
TPC. Come on.
You souvenir bulbs?
Yeah. Yeah. Before they were LEDs, when they were actual.
Oh, Common Nerd said that's sick. Culture Casino watch
Dude.
party win.
Yeah, I'd have to find a VHS that was working, bro. Yeah.
You got to get that ripped to ripped to digital.
Oh, and here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Florida's official limited time vacation offer inside.
There you
playing
go.
Video.
Wow, Typhoon Lagoon.
Yep.
I love that water park. I like that better
Wow.
than River Beach.
Limited time vacation offer inside.
Isn't this bonkers?
This was the kind of mail you'd get, and you'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah, you would get it in a box.
Yeah.
They would send it in a box.
Yeah." And you
Nowadays,
check
they
it
charge you
out.
for the box.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, oh yeah, and this is the calendar events guide from '96.
Oh wait, hold on. No,
This is what
way.
this is what Don Ducky Williams, who used to do all this, would call throwaway art, because everybody would throw it away. He thought so, but that's the yeah. So this is how dumb I am. I have crap like this in my house.
You know what, Culture? When I go back to Philly to clear out my storage unit, I'm gonna be real embarrassed about how much of that stuff I have, because I know I have it. I know I have, because the cheapest souvenir that I would do is I would do scrapbooking. So I would keep every receipt, map,
Thank you, dear.
button, anything of that stuff that I would just get.
She went all the way across the house to the Mickey room and went looking through everything and brought that in here because she saw me get this and she's like, nah. And dude, and I have more than that. I have way more than that one video playing. There's something wrong with me.
He says, I love you, man, but
I have an original brass key from the Grand Floridian Hotel that you used to give people for their rooms.
With the
skeleton key. Yeah, well, it's got obviously different teeth. Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe you should try 24-hour stream Culture to show off all that stuff.
No.
Well, I will thoroughly embarrass myself when I come back, and I'm just like, look at all this stuff that I just.
Lorena, you and I could start a museum.
Yeah.
Like,
no joke.
For example, like I'm going to give away. I think we already talked about this, Lorena. I have to give away all of these Mickey Mouse Barbie things. I have the entire like Mickey collection Barbie thing from the 2000s or whatever. Not because I did that, no. But my mom's like, here, take these. I don't want them anymore.
I have oh God, it's embarrassing. I have like about 6 designer Disney princess dolls. They're in cases like this, and they're all in haute couture, reimagined dresses. I mean, I'm almost embarrassed to say how many of those things I freaking bought, but gorgeous.
So how far did we get? Because the
I think we got 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
Hey, we got over to 5 minutes. You're over under at 5, or was it 10 minutes?
We're at 10 minutes. The poll's
We were
10
trying
minutes.
to do 10 minutes. So those of you,
the poll.
Yeah, those of you who said LOL.
Yeah. the boss just said, I picked LOL.
Oh gosh, it's too much fun, and we are having an absolute blast. And I think the longer this goes, probably the more stuff
you're gonna have to assemble it all into like one video for people, because it's like,
I will.
We'll be Mauler quality then. We'll be balling.
Yeah. Who Fastpass be canceled first? Yeah, they're trying to do that now. Oh
Just
God,
for
yeah,
clarification, though, is the Genie
they're
Plus
not
is the Genie
sorry.
Plus what is comparable to the Fast Pass was?
The
Is the Genie Plus comparable to what the Fast Pass used to be? Because
Not
I haven't been
really.
there since before.
no,
No, not even close, actually.
no, you just
Hmm.
basically get like a bucket of here's some pre-selected ones you can
Okay.
choose from. But if you
And
want the
Lightning Lane.
e-tickets,
Mhm. Oh, the
Lightning Lane,
Oh,
which are usually 3 times as long sometimes than the standby lane.
You're spending bucks.
yeah.
Big bucks, 17, almost
Well,
$17 per
and Stunt
person.
Brat, here's one for you. Just one for you. This is a 2000 one.
Oh, hang on. I can't believe about that one.
That's
Wow.
the year 2000. It's the Millennial Barbie for Disney.
No way.
You can put your photo here. It's got a photo frame with her. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dylan C, you know what? I have my Disney pins in storage
See,
and
you get the park
I'm
map there?
scared. I really am. Oh, and the park. Oh my God. And the park map. Look at that.
By the way, this wall here was
Mhm.
actually up at the parks to get your picture in front of. Remember,
Okay.
this mural was painted over in Tomorrowland on that wall where the purple wall was.
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually had this wall painted in multiple parks. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So, no, the boss
Ugh.
went and grabbed one of them. So, there you go. It's dusty
Oh,
as heck. Yeah.
thank you. That's kind of like my I have to
I'm a nerd. Explain to me. I don't have the Barbies. I don't do the Barbies were given to me by my mom. My mom has like all the highest possible quality high end
Mhm.
collectibles because she's a freak show. But no, this is the stuff she's like, I can't store these anymore. Take this. I'm like, oh.
Do you have like the Precious Moments doll? Because I'm gonna have to bring it out next time.
The amount of porcelain my mom has, you have no idea.
This one was like the doll lady. I need to freaking avoid her. She shows up like guess like around Christmas and the arts festivals or whatever, and she has like the Precious Moments style dolls that are made up like the Disney princesses, the princes. There's one that looks like Ursula that's calling my name, and I'm trying not to buy it because I have a Tiana one which is beautiful, and I don't even think you can buy it like anymore.
Hey, look, for those of you here giving me flack on this Barbie thing, right? Not mine. And look, you can definitely have the replica Culture doll, the Culture Ken, although it will not be rocking the smooth underside. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to say this. My mom was currently at Disney World, and they went and did the Christmas tree tour today.
Oh,
so they went and got pictures in front of all the Christmas trees, and they walked through the gingerbread house. So there you go.
Oh, nice. Oh God, that gingerbread house. Oh man, that's the epitome of
And my
disrespectful.
mom likes the carousel, the gingerbread carousel over at the
at the beach club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
I
I
got
have
some
to
pictures, but I
make
obviously
way.
no doctor.
You know, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter these days, especially with your face on it culture. I got a feeling maybe sometime this week we'll see something out there with your head on a Barbie doll.
The memers love me. Let's just say it
Yeah.
that way. No, but honestly, I'm going to be parting with a lot of these Disney things. Not kidding. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to pick over the Barbie.
I'm gonna have to like send pictures to Lauren.
Yes,
I gotta get rid of stuff. Well, I'm building an entire curio cabinet, a 20-something foot tall curio display here in the house before we move. It's just for Disney stuff. I think I told you that like a couple weeks ago, but yeah. It's going to be this enormous wall of Disney crap.
You did. It creeps up on you. Like you see Pluto over there, right? with Megatron on top of them. That's a toy that I had from when I was a very, very, very little kid.
And here's the thing: we don't even keep our own like collections, right, Lorena? I mean, you're talking about your collection back home, right? I mean, we it's like I have no room. I got no room.
It's like I got to get rid of it all because it creeps up on you when you collect, Disney memorabilia. It's just you have nothing to start out with, and then I don't even want to talk about my mini year collection. That's just embarrassing where that one's going.
Oh, I love. Okay, so the girls, you girls collect some amazing like Mickey ear stuff, right? I totally dig it, right? I'm like, all right, I can get behind that. Like, I can build like wall mounts for that, right? You could just like stack them, and do that. But
we got into the pin trading there for a while. I know the missus really like pin trading with people.
I feel like I've got a 35-pound box of pins. I have no interest in going through them.
You sound like me.
One odd thing that we did get into, the missus specifically, was those safety pins. They had like this. They were like a set of 10 of safety rules of like keep your hands in and Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah,
we
I know exactly what you're talking
our
about.
butts off to try to get those. So, and it was kind of fun. And something thematical.
Oh, well, speaking of pins, I'll show you guys for the cookie stroll. If you see my video at the end of the cookie stroll this year, they gave us a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special pin.
Nice.
Yeah. Last year was a paper ornament. So this was a serious come up. I'm like, is that a real pin? Yeah. Yeah, for the cookie stroll.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me see. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, I just one that was floating around here. I can't even believe that they're. Anyway, we can do this forever.
It's the kind of stuff. Yes, the pins you could only get through cast members. Yes, I have those too. I have to go through my pin collection because I want to get back to pin trading, but mainly just with cast members because they can't pick which pins they get, and I'll just be like, okay, what are you collecting? And do it that way. But yeah, I'm in that same group, 35-pound box somewhere with pins in it.
I know where it is. I tried to move it the other day.
Well, folks, as usual, another show where time just flies way, way too fast. Hope you're enjoying this series. Like I said, we'll try to see how many minutes we can get through every month with this. But next week, Florida Man Bingo. It is going to be so much fun. If you have not played Florida Man Bingo with us, it is insanely crazy and such a good time. So let us go on out. Damn Man Walking 55, you want to let people know where they can find you and what you have going on?
The main thing to keep up with me is on Twitter at DadmanWalking55. I'm trying to lock down more of a schedule in the next few months with college football season ending. So it's going to be new content, new things, trying to get into some history, some show and tell, some other stuff that's beyond just for football and sports. But right now that's been the big thing right now. Some Fortnite streaming and maybe a couple of little surprise games that I picked up recently for something different. But that's the best way to find me. What's going on is on Twitter. But I'm also on Twitch, and follow me over there. On YouTube, I'm at like 60 something subscribers. Come over, check out this stuff. And like I said, check out what I have out there, some of the show and tells and some of the old football videos. Because I tell you what, Lorena go back to the old football videos. Don't worry about the football and the stats. Go watch what the guest said. Listen to Lorena's stories and football. Look at my discussion with culture on the business side of football and everything else. That was just amazing. I mean, I lost control of the chat that night. I didn't read the chat. Thankfully, Mrs. was there because I was so in depth with the discussion with culture. But the people talk about cheese and all kinds of stuff. There's been some great series. We had a Canadian that showed about differences with Canadian football, American football, and showed video of his son playing. A lot of special stuff, and look at some of the other stuff. And if you go subscribe over there, and I've also promised if I get to 100, I'd do a 24-hour stream. So,
all right.
I don't know how I'll survive it, but let's see what happens. But thank you, Lorena, as always. Thank you for opening your doors to me. being nice and generous to my family, my wife, my kid, and thank you for everything. And thank you to Culture.
Oh, of course. I really do appreciate hanging out with you. I really am looking forward to the playoff football. We're in playoff football time coming up here.
Coming up near the end of the month.
So pretty excited about that. And for me, you know who I am, you know where I am, and I'm always there. And you can find me on the socials, the same place. And I'm grateful to be here. And I've got to figure out how to send Stunt Brat to Barbie. I don't know. You guys are y'all are fun. Thanks for being here. This is the show that is kicking off my week right now. And Lorraine has just been doing the best job of doing that for, I think, all of us for a long time. So thank you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys in the chat for being here and hanging out with this crazy show, which I thought no one would want to pay attention to. But
wait until bingo. Bingo, we're gonna have to advertise. We're gonna have to go big. Boom.
Yeah, because trust me, you do not want to miss Florida Man Bingo. It is an event unlike any other. So folks, as for your girl, let's see, tomorrow, Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can find me on the Network for Ladies of the PGS, the show that I do with her of Positive Fandom. So of course you can catch me there. Tuesday, got a special show. Theme Park Geeks and Divas is back for our monthly show, and we are just going to be talking theme park experiences for Christmas, stuff that we love about the holidays at the theme park. So, we got Culture there with us, Theme Park Casual will be there with us, and actually Orange Grove 55 and Dre, aka Bash Sky, should be joining us as well. So it's going to be a great time. Just talk about all those cool theme park Christmas memories. No, it does not have to be from California or from Florida. If you have memories about Cedar Fair, Six Flags, SeaWorld, doesn't matter. Just let us know about the holidays, and we're just gonna do some theme park nerding out about all of that. So again, thank you all so much for being here. You guys in the chat is what makes this show such a pleasure to do, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.